Hi everybody, this is Pam Meyer again with DesignWorks Limited, and for our second edition of this year I'm going to tell you what's hot in Las Vegas. The show just happened and there was lots of really interesting things in the whole scheme of furniture, accessories, wall treatment, floor treatments, and lighting. So I'm going to try to tell you all kinds of interesting and new things that you can do in all those arenas. I thought we'd start with the wall treatments because they were so interesting this year. Used brick has been around for a long time and it's mostly been used on fireplaces, but now people are doing like whole walls of used brick to give it kind of that urban loft look. And so they either use it scraped so that it looks kind of chunky and like it's been in the ground for a while, or they paint it and have a color spot in the room. And along with the used brick, we're seeing corrugated tin. And instead of doing it the vertical way, people are using it in a horizontal direction, which gives it a whole different look. And kind of burnishing it in places so that it has a really rustic look to it. And then along with that, you can add some reclaimed wood on top of the corrugated tin, and it ends up being bookshelves or display areas. So you can mix and match all this stuff, use it all together, use it separately, but it makes for a very interesting wall treatment. A few other things that I saw in the wall treatment area were Venetian plaster, which it adds a lot of texture. And you can add either cement to a wall and get away from the boring sheetrock that everybody has, and add either cement or the Venetian plaster technique, and it just adds that interest and texture, and it can create a whole new look for yourself instead of just painting sheetrock. Speaking of cement, they are also using cement in furniture these days, and they're mixing it with all different kinds of things. The one that stands out to me was the cement with the iron base for either dining room tables or occasional pieces. So that was a really kind of fun urban look. And then the other thing that we saw a lot of was large chunks of exotic wood used for both cocktail tables and end tables. And then there's nothing like creating a statement on a wall with a big piece of exotic wood that maybe has a vein or something, some interesting kind of texture going through it that'll really accent, say, an entry or a specialty wall or something where you want a little pop and a little drama. That's a way to do that. Another thing that I thought was really interesting in the upholstery arena was the use of metal as the frame of a sofa, but it was exposed. So instead of covering it all up, they showed the metal frame and then just put upholstered cushions on it for the comfort. So it gave it a real industrial look. And then I saw that paired with bamboo chairs that were molded kind of to your body shape, but didn't have any upholstery on it at all. And another really comfortable chair was the leather sling that kind of has this look like you want to just sit in it for days and take long naps, but it was slung over a metal frame. So all of these things kind of give you that, again, that loft look feeling, and you can mix that with all kinds. You can even mix that with antiques and have a real eclectic look about it. Even in the man cave, as men love it, the leather chairs with the studs, even though that's all leather and all upholstered, it still can mix with all these other things that I've talked about and still give a great look. Lighting is another category that's always creative and adds a lot of excitement. In the past, chandeliers were thought to be only in a dining room or maybe in an entry, but now they're everywhere. And what's really fun, and I've been doing a bunch of that this year, is putting chandeliers in bedrooms and in bathrooms. It just adds some whimsy and some drama to a room and maybe creates a little romance. So when you're choosing some new lighting, think of it as an opportunity to make a big statement in a room without a huge expense. And that way it'll feel like you're creating something without a big expenditure. And you have a lot of choices. There's multicolored glasses, there's metals, there's crystals, and some of them have all of the above. So just think outside the box and add a little drama to an ordinary room. Area rugs were another category of things that we saw at the show that were really interesting this year. And what I love about area rugs is they can set the tone for a room and they can also define a conversation area. So those are two really good reasons to use area rugs. And the thing that was most interesting this year was the animal hides. And they used the typical zebra and leopard rugs that you've seen before, but they added this year cowhides, and they did them in geometrical patterns so that they were very interesting, yet kind of blended better with the contemporary look. So that's something to really look for because there's a lot of it out there today. So I've kind of given you a nutshell version of everything that we saw in the Las Vegas show in 2018. And it's a wonderful contemporary, basically contemporary is the way to go this now. And but it's also a blend of exotics and naturals and the new with the old. So I think eclectic is something that you can do. Think outside the box, be creative, and remember, if your interiors aren't becoming to you, you should be coming to me.